Welcome to this dealer demonstration video. My name's Lloyd. I'm one of the co-creators of the Infinity Deck project alongside Craig Petty. What you'll receive inside your Infinity Deck packaging is this box of cards, this deck of cards called the Creative Mindset Deck. And this really is a powerhouse deck of cards that can do so many different things thanks to the amount of different principles that are built into the deck. So, on the very surface of it, it's a deck of random image cards, okay? So you can see there's images of trees, there are images of 8 balls, there are images of flowers, and so on. The core element of this deck, or one of the main principles built into this deck, is the Quran deck principle. So for those of you that know the Quran deck, you'll know that it's 4 playing cards that repeat with an X card in between every one of those 4 cards throughout a deck. You can go and watch the full tutorial to have that explained to you in further detail. But the beauty of the Infinity Deck is that because we use images, we can essentially allow the audience to look through the cards in much closer detail. Because, for example, there are 4 images that are repeating. They're a house, flower, a dog, and a person. But unlike playing cards, these images don't need to be identical. So as long as the subject is the same, for example, a house, you could have 4 or 5 different images of houses, but if the participant doesn't know what to look for when they are examining the cards, to the untrained eye, the images look completely different. So it gives you a massive amount of freedom and openness when performing this trick. So one of the core principles built into this is that 28 of the cards are the Quran force cards for this deck, with random cards alternating between. There are 18 other cards in this deck, which are sort of randomizer cards. And basically what they are cards that have random numbers somewhere on the photo. For example, it could be a speed limit sign that says the number 35. There's a picture of a front of a door that says the number 15. There's the number 7 on a birthday cake. And there are also images within that set of 18 of things like a diamond or a love heart, a shovel, which we know as a spade, and even a clover. So with those cards, you can sort of generate random playing cards and random numbers. And it can lead you to some incredible effects. We have a really, really interesting ACAN that's also explained further on the project. And then lastly, there are 10 cards that create a homonym word reveal. So on the box, there is a reveal, which are the first 8 words of each line of the text on the back. And it says, I believe I can influence what you choose. And each of the words is a homonym, so it has a double meaning. So for example, the word I, the picture for that is the eye of a needle. And then for believe, it's the picture of a bee and a leaf. So you get this big reveal where it says, I believe I can influence what you choose. And it's sort of the crescendo of the whole routine. The beautiful thing is that the Quran cards, the random playing cards, sort of randomizer cards, and the homonym word reveal that's built into the box are all actually infused into one sort of 10, 15-minute mega routine where all the methods for every part of the routine cancels each other out. And you're left with a perfect piece of magic, which you can do table hopping, or you can do it on stage and parlor. The extra sort of cherry on top of the cake, turn it up to 11 notch, is that the deck was designed by Phil Smith, and it has an incredibly clever marking system that not only tells you the stack order of the deck, so that if you shuffle them or drop them, you can easily place them back in order, but it also tells you the card before, after, and which card you are on as well in the stack for the Quran cards. So you can see the marking system much more clearly in the detailed explanation video or in the accompanying PDF. But as a brief overview, this is the Infinity Deck. There's a lot you can do, and there's a 6-hour tutorial that accompanies this that you can go and check out. The main questions you're probably going to get asked are, what company prints these? And that's the USPCC. They were designed by Phil Smith. They're fully marked, and you can read them. I could probably read these from 2 meters away very, very comfortably. They handle incredibly. They're going to last a lifetime. And the reason the deck is called the Infinity deck, if you get any questions, is because aside from the routines taught, every customer is going to be coming up with their own routines with this deck, because there's so much you can do because of the amount of principles built in. One other quick thing to note is that there are going to be some language restrictions, mainly for the homonym reveal, the influence reveal, which is built into the back of the box and the final 10 cards in the stack. That's because these homonym words are dual meanings for the images in relation to the English language words on the cards. So the words are, I believe I can influence what you choose. And those words are directly tied to images on the back. So there are some sort of things to consider when it comes to what language you are pulling in for the final reveal, for the influence reveal routine. And also, depending on what country you are in, the playing cards or the apparent playing card random images, there is an image of a spade or a shovel, which translates to spades in the English language. There is a love heart, which is the same visual as a love heart. And I assume the same visual for spade is sort of universal for the spade's image on playing card, no matter the language. There's a diamond, which represents diamonds. And then there's a three-leaf clover, which represents clubs. Now, those images, as far as I can see, tend to be universal in terms of representing the suits. But there may be, I know there's certain playing card countries and certain the territories may have different suit representations. The only other, there are 3 other cards in the deck which may be of concern, but I'm not entirely sure. There's a king, a queen, which, as far as I can find, seems to be universal for the kings and queens. And the last one, which is probably the only one which may catch some territories out, is there's a carjack. So a carjack used to hoist a car up to change the wheel. The sort of English word, the American word for it is a jack. It also is a jack. But if that card doesn't work, there's also a playing card with the numeric value of 11 on it. It's the number 11 on the back of a football player's shirt. 11 is also the same position as jack in the deck. So you are covered with that angle. But those are some language restrictions that you should be aware of when it comes to this deck. However, the rest of the cards, the Quran cards, house, flower, dog, and person, are universal because they are just images of those things. So if there's any questions, please get in touch with the Murphy's team. Thanks.